How you doing? I'm Darren with Kickin Barbecue. If this is your first time to the channel, then welcome. If you've been here before, then welcome back. Today, we're talking ribs. Now I know I have quite a few rib videos on my channel, and that's cool. I love cooking ribs. They're one of my favorite things to cook aside from brisket. But today's video isn't going to be so much about the ribs as it is the cooker we're going to be cooking on. This is going to be my first filmed video on my Smoke Daddy Pellet Pro 2300. Full discretion, I've used it a few times for catering. It's awesome. It's a dream to cook on. Holds temps extremely well. And I'm really excited to show you what this cooker can do. Now, this rack of ribs I have isn't the best. I just picked it up on sale at my local grocery store. It's got some weird stuff going on with it. It's got a thin layer of meat and then a little bit thicker layer of fat and then some more meat underneath. And you know what the way pork prices are right now, beggars can't be choosers. I'm confident it's still going to be delicious. This recipe's awesome. I've cooked it many times. But because it's got a little bit more fat, I'm going to be running hot and fast today like I usually do. We're going to be running at 300 degrees. We're going to get that fat popping and sizzling and make sure it's rendering down, and it's going to be absolutely delicious. I also have to give a shout out to my buddy Brian over at Mad Horse Barbecue. Thanks for the hat. If you guys haven't checked out his channel, I'm going to link it down below. Go check it out. He's got some awesome cooks, and I've had the pleasure of cooking some KCBS competitions with him. Just last weekend we were cooking down in southern Minnesota, and we both did really well down there. I think Friday night ribs, I took first, he took second, and he finished 13th overall, and it was his first ever KCBS competition. I finished 10th overall. You know, we both had a good showing, and it's a lot of fun. I've gotten to know him really well, especially over the past couple months, and he's an awesome guy. So be sure to go over and check out his channel and show him some support and tell him that I sent you. So let's bring in and show you how we're going to prep these ribs. All right, guys, so step one into prepping these ribs, get your lunch lady glove on. That way you're keeping your hands clean. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the bottom side here. Like you said, you can see there's quite a bit of fat on here, but we're going to be cooking hot and fast, so that's going to render down and crisp up and get almost like bacon. So it's going to be really delicious. A little paper towel there from the membrane. These are St. Louis cut ribs. I trimmed these down from full spares. If you're curious on how I did that, I got a video I can link up top or down below, or you can search it on my channel on how to trim them down. But super easy. So per the norm, we're going to start off with a base layer of the Tailgater's Barbecue Party Rub. I use this pretty much exclusively as a base layer on everything, and I also do use it in competition. It's absolutely delicious, and the judges really seem to enjoy it. I got the trophies to prove that. So go ahead and get a nice even layer on there, and then we're going to be coming in with the Elk Creek Barbecue Hog Knuckle. This is a really great rub, gives a fantastic color. I've come to really enjoy it. You can see I'm almost getting down there. I got to get some more soon. So just a light layer on the bottom. It's got some sugar and stuff in there, so we don't want to go too heavy on the bottom. It's not going to burn on this Smoke Daddy because it's such an awesome cooker, but we're going to go a little bit lighter on the bottom. So, and that's going to be that. While we're down here, we're going to get our sides, get our edges. That's looking pretty good there. We're going to flip it over. I'm going to go ahead and get the top side rolling. And this is what I was talking about. You can see we got some thinner meat right here and then some fat. I'm not worried about it. This is just some at-home eating ribs. So they don't have to be pretty. They just have to be good. So go ahead and get a nice layer of the Tailgater's Barbecue Party Rub. Then we'll come through with our Hog Knuckle. Go a little bit heavier on the top on this one, but we're not going to bury it. Just a nice even coat all the way down. Sure we get every little spot here. Go ahead and press that in. And there we go. There's our seasoned rack of ribs. So I'll meet you guys outside of the cooker and we'll get these on. All right, guys. So you can see we have our ribs on here. Great color on there. Looking absolutely delicious already. And you can see we have plenty of room on this rack still. We just got one on here today. So I'm going to get this closed down. We're going to let it go for an hour. Then we'll come out and check it, see if it needs any spritzing or anything like that. But again, running at 300 degrees on the Smoke Daddy Pellet Pro 2300. And that's going to be an awesome rack of ribs. So get this shut down and we'll check in about an hour. Alright guys, so it's been 1 hour. We're going to go ahead and check on the ribs. Before we jump in and spritz, I just want to show you these cool little finger savers I got here. I can't remember where I got it, but if I find it, I'll link it down below. But really nice for grabbing hot grates and stuff. But you can see we have great color on those ribs. They look absolutely awesome. I'm just going to go ahead and give them a little spritz because they're starting to dry out with just some regular old water. That's looking pretty good. You can see they've plumped up nicely, gotten really thick, so that's fantastic. So we're gonna get those in, get it shut down, and we'll probably come out and check them in a half hour and see where our color is. I'm anticipating at least another hour on the cook, but we'll come out and check them in a half hour and see how they're looking, so I'll bring you back then. All right, so it has been 30 more minutes. We're gonna go ahead and check on our ribs. Look at those. Got some nice pork fat on there. Got that yellow pork fat popping right there. That's exactly what you want. That means all that fat that I was talking about earlier is rendering. We got some really nice color. I'm gonna go ahead and give them a spritz. These are looking absolutely awesome. I'm gonna let them go another half hour, come out and check them, and then I'm assuming it's gonna be pretty close to time to wrap. We'll check and make sure. So see you guys in 30 minutes. All right, guys, so it has been 2 hours. We're gonna go ahead and check these ribs for color. Get these pulled out, and these are looking absolutely awesome. I mean, just go ahead and check out the color on that. They look phenomenal. So you can see the bark is set. So at this point, we're gonna get them inside and get them wrapped. You can see they're just absolutely dripping with juice here. So I'm gonna get these inside, show you how to wrap them, and I will meet you in the house. All right, guys, so again, just check out the color on these. They look absolutely awesome. The bark's nice and set up, and we've got some good rendering of this fat. We're starting to get a little pullback here, but we're gonna go ahead and wrap these, and it's gonna be really simple. So I've done this before in other videos, but I'm just gonna put down a few pads of butter. And what this butter is gonna do is it's gonna help keep the sugars from the sauce and the rub from burning, since we are cooking at a higher temperature. But you can see we haven't had an issue with that so far. These look absolutely awesome. And then we're just gonna go ahead and put down a little sauce. This is just a vinegar sauce. You can use any sauce that you'd like. And this is just for a little moisture in there, and also to help with the color, because it's gonna give it a very nice color. But look at how juicy those things are. So all we're gonna do is go ahead and flip it over. You can see the bottom is looking good. It's not all burnt. Just got a little dark spots from, you know, where the blood and stuff is coming out of the bones, but it's looking really nice. So we're just gonna take a little bit more of our sauce, run it over the top, just to help keep some moisture on top here. And I'd say that was probably about a half cup, 3/4 cup worth of sauce. Just use whatever you want. And then all we're gonna do is just go double over the bones here, bring up the other edge, so we're 4 sheets of aluminum foil over the bones here, just to make sure they don't pop through. And then just fold up your sides. And like I said, you've seen this once, you've seen it 100 times. It's just easy wrapping ribs. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these out on the cooker, and I'll meet you guys outside. All right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and get these back out on the cooker here. And all we're gonna do, just throw them right there in the middle. And we're gonna let these go for 1 hour, and then we'll come out and start checking tenderness just to see where it's at. But I'm anticipating about an hour, hour and a half to finish these up, and then we'll get some sauce on them, and then we'll do a taste test. So see you guys in an hour. All right, guys, so it has been 1 hour. We're gonna go ahead and check these ribs for tenderness now. I have not checked them yet, so just go ahead and get them opened up. Looking pretty good. Take our Thermapen here. We're sitting at about 203, 204, 206, but they are probing like absolute butter. So those feel really good. So I'm gonna get these off and just let them rest for about a half hour, and then we'll get them back on and get them sauced. So I'm gonna pull these off, let them sit on the counter for a half hour, just let them come down in temp a little bit, then we'll get them on and get them sauced. So see you in a half hour. All right, guys, so it's been a half hour. I just pulled these out of the wrap. We're gonna go ahead and put them on here, get them back in the cooker, and then just let that bark kind of reset for about, I don't know, 3 to 5 minutes. We would just want to get some of our color back here and dry out the tops. That way we can go ahead and sauce them. So I did lower the temp to 250 degrees. So make sure that you go ahead and lower it. That way it's not burning or turning too dark on you too quick. So I'm gonna get these in there, let them set for about 3 minutes, and then we'll sauce them up. So I'll bring you back. All right, guys, so it's been about 3 minutes. You can see we have some really great color on these ribs. Now we're just gonna go ahead and sauce them, and I'm just gonna use this Blues Hog Raspberry Chipotle. It's a really good sauce. So I'm just gonna go ahead and drizzle that on there and just brush it on. And this sauce, I just had it sitting in a glass of warm water just to go ahead and get it a little bit thinner. So go go ahead and get that brushed on, paint up our bones here. And that is looking really good. We're going to go ahead and we're going to let this sauce set for about another 3 to 5 minutes. So I'll bring you back then. All right, guys, so it's been about 5 minutes. We went ahead and let this sauce set up, and hope you can see how awesome that looks. I mean, that looks absolutely fantastic. We have great color, some nice pullback on those bones there. So I'm going to get these inside, let them hang out on the board and cool down a little bit, and then we'll do a taste test. So see you guys for the taste test. All right, guys, you can see we have our rack of ribs here. It looks absolutely awesome, and I can tell they're cooked very well because they're bending and they're not breaking. I mean, obviously if I were to bounce them, they'd probably break, but this is a really nicely cooked rack of ribs. This is about perfect for what I enjoy. You can tell it's starting to split a little bit right there, but it hasn't completely split. So this is what you're looking for as far as I'm concerned for my taste preference for ribs. So let's bring you in and let's get these sliced up. All right, guys, and I've had quite a few people asking what these white things are that I put on my cutting boards. These are just disposable cutting boards. This just happens to be Hardcore Carnivore brand. I usually use the Smoky Mountain brand, but they were out of my local store, so I bought these. I prefer the Smoky Mountain brand because the sides fold up and keep juices from leaking all over, and they're double-sided. These ones are not, but I'll put a link down below if I can find them and let you guys know, but I've had a lot of questions about that. So all we're going to do is just go ahead and flip these over. All right, let's flip them over and take a look. These are definitely a little further than what I would cook for a comp, but these are perfect eater ribs, and I am all about eater ribs. See, that one kind of flaked up a little bit there, so the sides are definitely a little bit more done, but I have absolutely no doubt these are going to be delicious. So let's pull you out and let's hit it with the taste test. All right, guys, so moment of truth. Go ahead and just grab one here. Got a nice smoke ring. It's nice and juicy. Smells wonderful between the smoke from the 2300 and that Blues Hog raspberry chipotle, which is really, really good. If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend it. So let's go ahead and have a bite. Cheers. Those are absolutely delicious. Got a nice bite. Super tender. Not fall off the bone, but about as close as we can get to fall off the bone without it being fall off the bone. Go on ahead and get me another bite. And there you go, guys. Nice clean bone. These are absolutely delicious. This is one of my favorite at-home eater recipes, between the savoriness from the Tailgater's barbecue party rub and then that hog knuckle, which gives great color and an awesome barbecue flavor. And then obviously the sweetness from the sauce when we wrapped, a little bit of that vinegar punch, but then the sweetness with a little bit of heat from the raspberry chipotle from Blues Hog. This is an absolutely awesome recipe. I highly recommend it. If you guys are looking to have your ribs absolutely fall off the bone, just keep them wrapped a little bit longer. Make sure they're even more tender if that's how you like them. Again, I don't care. You cook your food how you like it. I'm going to cook my food how I like it. And at the end of the day, as long as you're cooking barbecue, that's all that matters. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to like, subscribe, ring that bell, stay safe, and we will see you next time.